Ryan and Dan, you've both been to Toronto for Fan Expo. Dan, I don't know if you've been before, but in 10 seconds or less, what is your favorite thing about Canada? Ryan,
Toys R Us.
made good use of your time. Dwight,
This is lame, but getting to meet my Hasbro team up there, because I would have never met any of them otherwise. So it was nice meeting the Hasbro Canadians.
I'm sure they don't think that's lame. Dan, how about you?
Hockey,
You
Blue Jays,
say
Blue
Raptors.
Jays, Tim Horton, and ScarJo. Yo, ScarJo. Thank you, Canada. ScarJo.
Is she Canadian?
Oh, actually, no. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds. Thank you, Canada.
Those aren't even interchangeable. That's very strange.
They were husband and wife at one point, I feel like. So
Okay, that's
sense.
fine. Well, that's a good
Thanks for
open.
making me look bad, Dwight. Your answer was better. Shout out to our Canada team. Hello.
Hey, me, what up?
This will be bloopers at the end, I guess, or do you want me to do it over, right? Welcome everyone back to the channel. I have the very privileged opportunity to speak with the Hasbro Marvel Legends team. You all know Dan, Ryan, and Dwight. Thank you, all three of you, for joining me today. I know you guys are all very busy, but let's get into it. I'm up here in Canada. A lot of people are very excited about this exclusive Doctor Strange, which, sorry to rub it in everyone's face, but I had a friend pick one up for me from the US, but they're curious, when it's hitting Canada. I know it's a little bit behind. Some people are even questioning, is it coming here?
So we reached out to our lovely Canada team. They are working on some clarity for availability. The goal is still to have that Doctor Strange available. It was a Walmart exclusive here in the US. Normally that kind of translates over, but I guess there's some kind of hiccups. So, appreciate the Canadian fans just staying a little patient, and we hope to have some more news shortly.
So is that it will or will not be Walmart Canada, or still in the works?
I think I actually need to confirm with the Canada local team. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. At least that gives some clarity, because I get a lot of questions for that, and I just want people, it's a great figure with a lot of cool stuff. So I think people just need to be patient and
To clarify on a different item, because there was some questions from the Canada team too, to clear up the Target exclusive Spider Noir that we just revealed. That will be not available for pre-order on TRU. It will be for TRU, but it will come as they have it in stock. So don't expect like a TRU Canada pre-order, if that makes sense. I just want to clear up that confusion there too.
Awesome. And always thank you for clearing up the stuff, earlier on Twitter earlier this year, you're telling me about some other exclusives. So it's always good to have that information out. We always appreciate it, especially in the live streams when you exclusively put like GameStop Canada or Toys R Us. I know at one point that wasn't a thing, so that's always huge. Thank you very much. Another exclusive is the new lizard on the retro card. And before there's a Sandman Bath, and then there's a Sandman on the retro, and then you kind of go with a whole new sculpt. There's like, sometimes people want the same one, sometimes people complain you get the same one but it's repainted. Can you walk through the process of like just choosing an entirely new design for the lizard, stuff like that?
Yeah, lizard was just, we wanted to do something different. Like you said, we gave you the larger, more modern, more monstrous lizard as a Build-A-Figure, which is a pretty solid figure. There's a few things I wish I would have done differently looking back on it, but we've been loving those retro cards so much, and a normal scale lizard just seemed to make sense. And if we were going to go normal, we felt strongly that going to more of that classic look. Dan's a big supporter of the like animated kind of style and look to the characters whenever we have the opportunity. So to find a lizard that's it was based off of comics, but more normal proportioned, more like his origins, we thought would just be a fun point of difference. Throwing in the wire bendy tail is just something that we heard from the fans, and we knew that would be a big hit, and it looks really good, and it's a lot of fun on there. And then just throwing in some extra little lab gear stuff was just kind of a fun little extra, just to make him a little bit different than the more monstrous version. And then the super classic head which is not my favorite, but for some people, maybe that's what they will only like, right? Because that's just the way all of our fans are. They all like different eras, so but we gave it a little bit more of a, not modern, but a different take on the classic as well, just so that you could have the ability to make it look like it could fit in different eras of your collection with just a head swap.
Yeah, I think that's cool. It's probably, I could see it as like a completely different lizard. And I was kind of good. I was like, I'm good with the bath, but I was on the fence for the retro, and then I saw that animated head. And every time someone posts a picture of it, he looks so cartoony and goofy, and it's selling me more every time. So I think that might be the deciding factor. So might not be your favorite, but it might be working for me.
There you go.
Catch 22, right? There's some for somebody, there's some for somebody else.
Exactly.
Hot topic that I'm sure a lot of people are talking about, packaging. I'm sure a lot of people have already talked about it. I just want to know, with the reduction of plastic use, is the Legends 20th anniversary wave, is that going to be one of the last waves to use plastic?
What has been communicated, right, is like in 2023 is when, all the brands, Marvel included, will be moving exclusively over to plastic free. 22 is this transition year. So some things you'll see in closed boxes and some things you'll continue to see on blister cards or in window boxes. So it's kind of a toss up right now. It just so happens that those Spider-Man items from last week on the stream were in the new plastic free structure, but of course Toad, and that whole 20th program from earlier in the year was still in the traditional one. And so, yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. We kind of knew, there's pluses and minuses to everything, but I think the company, decided to take this initiative for the right reasons. And so we're just trying to make the best of it. Other questions, and I think you asked this too, of like, hey, have you guys looked at structures where there's like a hole in the box and you can see it, right? So, I think we've had a while to investigate this, and we have looked at all the options. Some of the brands did like a small window with a plastic first, and then some have switched to like having that be open, but then I think everyone is going to go to the closed box there. That kind of approach doesn't really work, I think, as well for Legends, because a lot of our figures, the heads are designed to be swappable, and then we've got a lot of little pieces like accessories, hands, and things that you can't really tie down, whereas I feel like some other type figures don't have as many small pieces, and maybe it's just like one thing. I don't think Transformers heads are designed to be pulled off, very easily. So we have looked at everything, and we're just trying to do what's best for the environment, and also trying to maybe bring something new to collectors, right? We have more of a canvas now on the front. We'll be trying some interesting artwork treatments and getting some really dynamic poses on the front for various figures. So yeah, it's a change we're all embracing, and it's starting now, and it's going to be the future for us.
Well, if there was ever, if you're struggling to find a balance between the retro cards and plastic free packaging, please do remember my initiative, because I know a lot of people buy the retro cards, buy an extra set to display on the wall. Marvel Legends wallpaper. This is not the first time I've mentioned this.
I thought you were gonna say instructions, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it. Instructions, we got it.
Damn, there's a time and place for that. Okay. Where's my MODOK? All right, MODOK will ask the next question.
He's frowning.
All right, he will not be asking the next question. The Renew Your Vows 2-pack, super cool. And I've always said, like, when you release certain things, not everyone has read every comic, especially me. And I love some of these things that get me to check out new storylines. So I started reading it. It's fantastic. Collectors love full teams. Collectors, when they start new lines and new brands, they want to know that certain things are going to be completed, so they don't get left halfway. Is this like a one-off thing with this storyline, and will more of this story be explored? And I'm sure you've heard a lot of requests from people like MCU Collector for a certain character.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all open to be, to dive back into if the time's right. We talked about putting the daughter Annie in this set too, but all of her biker, spider armor was just, it was getting too expensive, so we weren't able to put her in there, with this set. It would have been awesome if we could, but it's still an awesome 2-pack, as it is with Spinneret and Pete. So I really actually like that pack, and it's one of my favorite things of that program that we launched. I think the red and white of the Spinneret costume, the MJ, is just so cool and different than a lot of other spider characters you have on your shelf. I know at mine at the office, like she's very striking and she jumps out, you know. So I would love to go back and get some dive back into that world. She, you know, the daughter has not been forgotten. If we have the opportunity to, we'll definitely look to add her back in. But with her being smaller on that kid size buck, and that kid buck doesn't have a lot of extra pieces right now, it would just be, you know, it was just too expensive at this moment in time. But I would love to add her to the list.
So they're on the radar for sure. I'm sure when the team
Definitely.
works through this stuff, they're not just blindly looking at one character. Like the whole world is on the map. So that's cool. That's cool to hear. Thank you. The next question might be a little bit serious. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but Dan and Dwight, how did your rap battle go? What did Dan use to get the toe articulation into the line? What happened?
The truth is, Ryan gives Dwight a lot of toys. And so on the day that Ryan gives Dwight toys, he's like really happy and he's like liking marketing. Because what happens usually, there's like a barrier between like design and marketing. And so sometimes you just got to time it right, where Ryan happens to give Dwight toys. And I'm like, hey, Dwight, you know, what about, you know, toe articulation? And I drop some bars, and that's usually how it works.
Yeah, and Dan knows not to send me any urgent text from 11 a.m. till noon till I've eaten. He wants to make sure that I've got a full belly, and then, you know, then Ryan, wait a minute, now I'm starting to see a pattern here. You guys got me.
Always go bearing gifts. That's an important lesson that we can all take.
Yeah, that's how offices work. You know, you got to make sure everyone's in a giving and happy mood.
Ryan's the best Santa we've ever had.
That is true. Very true.
Is this new Spider-Man the best Spider-Man ever? Can you see anything that you can even improve on? Because it already looks like it already a great buck, and you've added more to it.
I think there's always things we can do to improve. I think it's the best one we've done yet. I think that's a fair way to celebrate it. I love it. I think it's a super solid figure. You know, but you know, if price points weren't in a barrier, you know, we could have added in, you know, 500 different types of web effects. You know,
500. That's a lot.
500. Enough to wall your entire your collection in webs. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, you could do to kind of plus him up still, and maybe we'll get around to doing a super deluxe version of him at some point in time. But the pinless joints, the toes, the super articulation for the torso, and the butterflies, it's by far, you know, so far the pinnacle of what our team's been able to work together to achieve. And I'm really proud of it, and I hope you guys will love it when you guys get it in your hands as well.
Yeah, anytime you can compare our Spider-Man to like one of our competitors who are more higher in price, like significantly higher in price, and you know who those are, like I think that gives a lot of credit to Dwight and our engineering team and our whole PD team for making a figure that to me is really fun to carry around in your pocket and play and like pose. And yeah, so I think it's one of our best Spider-Mans that we've ever put out.
You know, some of these interviews, it's not just interviews, I have an opportunity to give some feedback, not that it's, you know, it's completely unsolicited, so you're just gonna have to hear it. No, I'm kidding. Null and Venom, it's such a cool 2-pack, and I missed out on the movie Venom because I'm like, it doesn't really fit. But then always, you know, I'm sure you've all heard people are like, oh, I can't wait till that comes at a comic Venom on that buck, or I'm gonna buy that one for to make a custom. And now we have a chance to get it in the 2-pack, so I think that's fantastic. The Ned and Peter 2-pack is unbelievably awesome, and it's cool because a lot of Filipino collectors have mentioned on like my IG posts or on the Discord, like they love seeing it, so that's always awesome. But the Peter figure, was that created in mind to have civilian Peter to be able to do action stuff as well, for people who do toy photography, just to make use of him in the same spidery ways? Sounds weird.
Yeah, adding a couple more civilians to your collection is always fun. It gives you background people, just to kind of do things with if you so choose, or you can put them front and center and have an awesome, Peter, Ned, and we did an MJ a 2 years ago. So now you've got, Peter and his, I would say his girl, but I guess she's not his girl anymore after the film. If you haven't seen the film and I just ruined something for
Spoiler
you,
alert. Throw up a
Yeah.
graphic.
yeah, but if at this point in time, if you haven't seen it, then I'm really not, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. You should have seen it by now. So, go watch the movie. I think those are all real good ones. And I don't know, he's got a few more classmates. Maybe we'll get around to some more of them at some point in time. Who knows, right?
Yes, or hopefully another MJ down the line somewhere, because I foolishly passed on that. I know this was mentioned before, and unfortunately, when you put stuff out there, the reach isn't 100%, or else marketing would be, very easy if you could reach everyone. But for fans who are wondering, like, why isn't every Spider-Man on the Retro Buck, or why isn't every female figure on the Shriek? Can you speak to the limitations there?
Yeah, I can a little bit. The short and quick of it is we're producing dozens of action figures at the same time, to have everything, ramped up to ship, globally as we need to. And you can't use all of the same tools at the same time. You have to kind of space them out. So when we're figuring out, the first 3 waves of the year, we got to make sure we're using different bodies, sequentially instead of all at the same time, so that we can, ramp up production on one, wrap that, move on to the next one. And sometimes there's crossover and you have to find other versions to slip in there so that you can, because the line is so massive. Legends is, because the fans have supported us in such an amazing way for the last, pile of years. Legends has grown into a unstoppable juggernaut, and the cool thing about that is you're seeing tons of amazing product. The bad thing is there's a whole hell of a lot of work for Ryan, Dan, and I to do, and the whole rest of the team, and we have to just kind of pick and choose what we can do when and where. And it's just we're not always able to use everything all at the same time. So we kind of have to space things out, and we have to find other things to kind of pull in between there, because we have so many tools that we have to use for all of these characters.
Finally, the reveal, Moon Knight with the figure report. That's just a brilliant tactical move, and I've already told you individually, but I think seeing all that stuff happen, it's just fantastic work, and it's cool. You guys keep your ears to the streets, and thank you for sitting down. Except Dwight, he's standing, but figuratively. And thank you for chatting with me again. It's always a pleasure.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Kev.
Good luck
give you
tomorrow, by the way.
We're going to give you the most complicated reveal with no instructions. So just stay tuned for that.
I don't need more stress. And yes, thank you, Ryan. But yeah, I don't need more stress.
Do we send him? Does he get the next Super Deluxe? Is that what he's got to figure out next?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to contemplate this and see. Whatever this, we're gonna break it up into even more pieces. That is like more for him to assemble.
Just send me all the Galactus pieces like unassembled, and I'll do a video, and I'll try to put it together, and then that'll go viral.
See how close you get to what it's and see what you actually create with those parts.
Yeah, maybe you don't want that out there. But thank you.
Take care, Kev. Thanks, man.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, Modok.
Bye, Modok.
Peace out.
Hey, thank you for watching that video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of cool information that Ryan, Dan, and Dwight shared, so please feel free to go share this video with your friends on all your social media. And until next time, keep touring around. Peace.